10.
Making their voices heard, people sharing their strong opinions with city leaders tonight about this bust of Confederate General Robert E. Lee in downtown Fort Myers. I'm Patrick Nolan.
And I'm Amy Wegman. Some call the statue a symbol of racism that needs to be put in its proper place, but others say it's a part of history that should stay right where it is. For In Your Corner's Jasmine Miner live by the bust in the River District with how city leaders are responding to this one. Jasmine?
People waited almost 3 hours to get their opinions heard, and it's all because the decision to remove or relocate the statue was just that important. They all waited their turn.
It was a statement to put up Robert E. Lee, and it is a statement to take it down.
To share their concerns with taking down or relocating the Robert E. Lee bust on Monroe Street in downtown Fort Myers. For those wanting to keep it the way it is,
Colonel Abraham Myers, his classmate who Fort Myers is named after.
They say the other side doesn't understand the facts.
Not really educated. They're just giving an interpretation of our history instead of giving the facts.
Younger generations are getting a little bit more education because more avenues have been opened.
Jason Beckham is the leader of Showing Up for Racial Justice, or SURJ for short. He says the bust is a symbol of racial discrimination, but says no matter whose side you're on, he just wants the city to get involved.
We'd like to see the city council show leadership and willingness to have this conversation, but it's an important conversation that we need to have.
He says it begins with putting the topic on the agenda. For Councilman Fred Burson, he says the council is the wrong place to go.
We're just council people. We don't have the authority to do it.
He says the people need to take it up with the county commissioners, and says he understands the feelings towards the bust, but doesn't think the bust is the problem.
Taking it down doesn't necessarily remove that hurt. We should use that object as a teaching moment, regardless of your point of view.
Now remember, even though the bust sits on Lee County property, it's actually owned by the Daughters of Confederacy. I've reached out to them multiple times over the last couple of weeks by phone and email and haven't heard back from anyone. No one from the DOC showed up to tonight's City Council meeting. Live in downtown Fort Myers, Jasmine Miner, Box 4 in your corner.